Hey, what's going on guys? It's Doesn't Conform, bringing you some more Black Ops 2 multiplayer gameplay. In this video I wanted to talk about how to actually start a YouTube gaming channel, some of the physical stuff that you're going to need such as the hardware and the software and stuff like that. Now when I say start a gaming YouTube channel, I don't mean grabbing your video camera and recording your TV while you're talking or uploading theater gameplay while you're talking over it. I mean actually starting a good quality gaming channel that will actually go somewhere. There is one thing that you're going to need that I actually wasn't going to put in this video, and that is a decent computer. And when I say decent computer, I mean one that can handle multiple programs at the same time, one that can actually render out videos, because if you have a pretty slow computer, you're not going to be able to put videos on YouTube, at least good quality videos, because you need to have a computer that can actually render out videos. So the first thing that you're actually going to need is something to record with. Whether you're on console or whether you are on PC, there are multiple different options for both. I'm going to start off with the consoles, and the one that I would recommend going with for consoles is the Elgato Game Capture HD. It will run you about $155 if you buy it from Amazon, which is what I would recommend. On the Elgato website it is $180 I believe, but you can just get it off Amazon. It's much cheaper. But the Elgato is amazing. I used to use the Hauppauge HD PVR1 before I used the Elgato, and it's a night and day difference just from the amount of cords to the amount of quality that the Elgato can provide. The Elgato can record up to 1080p. I recommend using 720p on YouTube though, because YouTube isn't really the best for 1080p. It just has really bad buffering times. You can't really even tell the difference, so I would just go with 720p. And the software that comes with the Elgato is really good as well. You can stream with it onto like Twitch TV or YouTube or whichever site you want. You can do live commentary straight from the actual program on your computer, which is really cool. I mean, you can record your voice and your game at the same time and it'll sync it up for you. And one of the best features about the Elgato is, I guess you can call it ghost recording. It's actually recording without you recording. Like if you're not recording, it'll actually be recording, and you can go back and take out the parts you want and stuff like that. And I've had it go up to about 2.5 hours, I believe, like while not recording, and I can go back and view whatever I want. And it actually records all of it, but once you exit out of the program, I believe it deletes it. So it's just a really cool feature, and that's why I would recommend the Elgato. The other device I would recommend for consoles is the Hauppauge HD PVR2. That is very similar to the Elgato. I mean, it has very good software. You can record in 1080p or 720p, whichever you prefer. And the software on it looks really good. I've not actually used it personally since the HD PVR2 came out, but I have seen videos on it, and it looks very similar to Elgato's software. But I did have the HD PVR1, and that software was just fine. I had no problem recording videos and stuff like that. So that will actually run you around $145, which is cheaper. But once again, I would recommend the Elgato, but both of these are fine. Either one of these will give you great quality, and you'll have no problem recording your gameplays. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is recording software on the PC. I know there are 5 billion different options on the PC, but I'm going to talk about 3 of them. 3 of which I recommend, which are Fraps, DxTory, and Camtasia. Now you don't have to use these 3, but these are the 3 that I would recommend. Fraps and DxTory, they're pretty much the same. DxTory has a lot more features, but Fraps is very more user-friendly and it's a lot more easy to use. I would recommend either of these 2 if you're looking for a cheap recording software for your PC. I personally use Fraps because that was the one I discovered first. I never even heard of DxTory until a few months ago actually. But they are both very good products. Now Camtasia, although it's $300, Fraps and DxTory both coming in at around $37 each. Camtasia is $300, but I believe it is worth every penny pretty much. It has great recording software, and it also has editing built in. It's just a really good product, but I wouldn't recommend actually buying this unless you are confident that you're going to be doing YouTube for a while and you feel that you want something better. But those are the 3 that I would recommend. But you know, go ahead and research different recording softwares. There's like 7,000 of them on PC. Just research around, you'll find one that you eventually like. One of the next things that you're going to need is something to actually record your voice if you wish to do voiceover commentary or live commentaries or whatever you wish. But there are 3 different options that I'm going to go with once again, and one cheap version, one medium version, and one high-end version. The first 2 that we're going to talk about are the Blue Snowball and the Blue Yeti. They are both made by the same company. I personally use the Blue Snowball because I found a deal on it online and got it cheaper, so I was like, yeah, that's fine. These are the 2 that I would recommend if you feel that you're going to do YouTube for a while and you're going to be dedicated to it. These are probably the most used mics, and they're pretty good quality. I am using the Blue Snowball right now, and I believe it sounds okay. The Blue Snowball is going to cost you around $60, while the Blue Yeti is going to cost you around $100. Now, the Blue Yeti is a better microphone. It doesn't pick up as much background noise as the Blue Snowball, from what I've heard at least. That's what I would recommend if you feel that you're going to do this for a while, like I've said. But if you just want to try YouTube out and you're not sure if you're going to do it for a really long time, or you just want to mess around with it, I would recommend getting just a really cheap Rock Band USB mic. They are actually not that bad of quality. You're probably laughing right now, but they really aren't that bad of quality. I know some bigger YouTubers that have tens of thousands of subscribers actually use Rock Band mics, and like you would never even be able to tell the difference. It's not personally what I would recommend, just because you would have to actually either hold the mic, or you'd have to buy another mic stand or craft something of your own maybe. The Blue Yeti or the Blue Snowball, you can actually sit that down on your desk and you can talk into it or do whatever you want with it. So now that you have a mic, you're going to need a program to record your voice with, and that program that I would recommend is Audacity. It is free. It is probably the best voice recording software. I personally use SoundForge Audio Studio. It is a Sony product. It came with my video editing software, and that is the only reason I use it. If I didn't have this, I would be using Audacity. So just use Audacity. It is the best that you can probably get. Now you have your recording device or software and your mic and audio editing software. Now we are going to need video editing software. Keep in mind that there are many more options than what I actually have on the screen. The 3 that I have on screen are Windows Movie Maker, which is free, Sony Movie Studio Platinum Suite 12, which is around $70, which is what I have, and Camtasia once again, which is $300. There are also very expensive programs like what is it, Sony Vegas Pro or whatever. It's like $700-800 or something. A lot of people do have this, but I'm like 90% sure that most of these people just illegally downloaded it, which I would not recommend. Sony Movie Studio Platinum Suite 12 was only around $70, and it's pretty much the same thing. I know Sony Vegas does have a lot more features, but you'll get the same thing pretty much out of Sony Movie Studio Platinum 12, and it's a lot cheaper, and it's all you're really going to need if you're going to be doing simple YouTube videos like mine. But if you're going to be doing editing for like a corporation or something, or a business, you're probably going to be using Sony Vegas. There is also Camtasia, which is around $300, and keep in mind it is also a recording software, so you can record with it, and the software is very good. I had some experience with it about 2 years ago, so I'm sure it's improved a lot more since then. But even then, it was a great product, or a great software, and I would highly recommend it, although it is $300. But like I said, I would not get it unless you're going to be in YouTube for a long time and you feel like you're going to actually go places, I guess. There is also a free program which is very, very simple. If you're not going to be doing editing or anything like that, like if you're just going to record video and then audio and then put it together and that's it, that's pretty much all you're going to get out of Windows Movie Maker. It is free, but I would not recommend it. I would highly recommend getting Sony Movie Studio Platinum Suite 12. It is pretty much everything you are going to need in a video editing software. And yeah, that's what I would recommend. If you ever get partnered while making videos on YouTube, you're going to have the option to make thumbnails for your videos. and you're going to have options to actually create banners and do just other artwork, which you don't necessarily have to be partnered for, I don't believe. But you're going to need a photo editing software, and there are two programs that I would actually recommend. One being Adobe Photoshop Elements. That is going to be around $100, and from what it looks like a pretty good photo editing software. Of course, it is not Photoshop, just Adobe Photoshop, which is hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Elements looks decent, and it's a cheap alternative to the big mamma jamma. The one that I would recommend that is free is Paint.net. Is what I use to make all my thumbnails, and I think they look decent. Although I'm not the greatest artist in the world, I don't have the best imagination when it comes to making thumbnails and stuff. But I believe that Paint.net is a really good software or program, whatever you want to call it, and I would highly recommend it just because it's free. But you do have to download the stuff to get effects, but you can find those all online for free. You can find videos on that kind of stuff. But that's what I would recommend. That is what I use, and it is a pretty good program. There are a few more things that I would recommend for your YouTube channel that you don't necessarily need, but I would recommend getting them. One being a pop filter for your microphone, which will cost you around $15. And what a pop filter actually does is take out the, it's like a windsock basically. It blocks out a lot of the loud noises that would initially go into a microphone, and it makes it sound a lot better. You usually hear it in the words that begin with P and S's, I believe. It just basically takes that out and makes your audio sound a lot better. And the other thing that I would recommend is getting a gaming headset, whether you're on console or PC, something that you can listen to the game audio with, and so you can mute your other monitor if it has sound playing through it, because you don't want your mic to pick that up as well, because that echo would be really obnoxious. And the last thing, which I mentioned in the beginning of the video, is to have a good PC that can handle multiple programs and the rendering, which takes up a lot of CPU. So I would recommend having a good PC. And that's pretty much it. I hope this video helped you guys start a YouTube channel or get an idea of what you actually need to start one. And I wanted to thank you guys for watching, and thank you for taking the time out of your day to actually watch this video. It means a lot to me, and I do appreciate it. Show your support by rating the video and leaving a comment on the video. I love reading your guys' comments. Let me know what you thought of the video, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. I want to thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Peace.